I mean, happy holidays. Job on this Easter Sunday is going to be F150 2005. We're going to do some front wheel bearings. It's going to be the bearings and the rotor assembly. Let's get it. With just a little bit of air tank. Get yourself a jack stand, put it underneath the vehicle. We got a little scrapage here I see on the guy who had it before me. Yes, this is my truck. So I believe that's the first time I've personally taken off the wheel. So we don't need brake pads. The brake pads are good. I should have bought some brake pads. They're about 50% right now. I think I'm just going to let it ride. I'm just going to go ahead and replace the rotors and be done with it. So let's do it. First thing I'm going to do is I am not going to take off the caliper. Okay? All I'm going to do is get a screwdriver in here and push the piston in so I can release the pressure off those off the pads. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to remove this bolt or that bolt for the caliper bolts. I'm not going to do it that way. To make things a little bit quicker, what I like to do is I like getting a flathead and I like getting it in between the rotor and the pad and kind of squeeze. Let's see. No, it's moving. See my hand moving? So I'm pushing in that piston. Piston's going in. It's going in. It's going in. That's good enough. Now my caliper is loose. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to take off those two 15mm bolts back behind on the bracket, not the caliper, the bracket bolts. You'll see two of them back there. If I do it that way, I can keep the pads inside the caliper while I replace this rotor. Okay? That way I don't have to do any extra work. It looks like it's going to be a 18mm back there. Hopefully I have enough air to do it. Oh yeah, no problem. Take that bolt out. Take the bottom bolt out. And now I can pull off the whole rotor. Now you see my brake pads remain inside the caliper. Okay? Pressing in the piston. The pistons are back here. It's a dual piston caliper. So you push in the piston, you can keep the pads in there. Now, I should hang this up on a hanger or something, but I'm just going to be gentle. I'm just going to leave it there. And let me turn this around and I'll show you the axle nut we have to take off. All right, the next step, I use some cutting diagonals and there's a cotter key in there. So you got to take the cotter key out first. Straighten it out. It should bend straight. Then you can pull it out the bottom. Okay. Cotter key. Okay. You can take the cover off, pull straight out. Get you a socket that fits that. I'm going to use a 30. Man, I think it's a 34, you guys. I'm pretty sure the socket's a 34. It's just all worn out. It's old. It's 36. Oh man, I don't know what it is, guys. I think it's a 36. 34 or 36. I'm sorry about that. I'll check with another socket here shortly. that one's tight. That one's tight. That one's tight. Thank you. All right, now that's pretty much all there is to it. You get the nut off, and this rotor will come right off. All right, that's it. Really not brain surgery on this one. The rotors are about 60 bucks. I think I got both rotors for like 135 bucks at O'Reilly's Auto Parts, okay? So everything looks good. Let me get the new rotor on there. Just gonna put a little bit, little finger should work. Spread it around a little bit. You ain't gotta go crazy with it. All right. Get this grease off my finger. All right. And then you put this rotor right back where you got it. Okay, put your nut back on it. Tighten it down. All right, that's it. Put the cap back on it. You might have to twist it a couple times so the hole will match up. Put your cotter key back in the hole. Okay, go ahead and bend the cotter key. All right, and yeah, that's it. Let's get the caliper back on there. If you've been following along, your brake pad should already be installed in your caliper. So now all you have to do, and your piston pressed in with the screwdriver. All right, so now you just throw the caliper back on there like that. Get your bolt. And start it, okay? Get your other bolt. Start that bolt. Okay? Bam. Tighten up the bolt in the back. It was an 18 millimeter, I believe. I'm not trying to block the shot. No, that's not the right size. That's the right size. It's an 18 millimeter. I had a 19 millimeter on it. Okay. All right, guys. That's it for the bearing job. Pretty simple job. Hope it helps somebody. Like and subscribe. Hayes Mobile Auto Repair. We're in Jackson, Mississippi.